Tomorrow was Super Bowl Sunday, and I haven't made a video in a while. This is Newbie Sports. I'll get right to it. The Super Bowl, yeah, this is the first NFL thing that I've deeply gone into. I'm gonna give my prediction. Everyone's picking the Seahawks. Everyone's really high on Sam Darnold and how bad of a decision it was that the Vikings let him go and stuff. I think there's a reason why the Vikings let him go, and I think that the reason why it looks as bad as it does is because he's gotten to the Super Bowl, and him and his team should receive all the credit for getting to the Super Bowl. I just don't know if they're gonna get it done, and it's not because they're not talented and all this kinds of stuff. It's because things happen for a reason, and maybe the reason is that the Vikings made just as big of a mistake as the Mavericks did last year in sending Luka to the Lakers. I mean, we'll see how that pans out after Sunday. But I'll not bury the lead anymore. I'm gonna go with the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna give a score prediction. I haven't looked at those numbers well enough, but I'll just throw out a number. Let's see. The Patriots took it to Denver, not really hard. They beat them 10-7. I don't follow the NFL as strongly. So I'm gonna say the Patriots are gonna win this game 24-17. I think it's going to be a nice competitive game, a couple field goals on either end, but I don't think the Seahawks are going to come out on top for the end of the season. And maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong quite a few times this season, but there's my Super Bowl prediction. I think it's going to look a little more valid that the Vikings cut Sam Darnold, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe Sam Darnold will demonstrate that he should have stayed at that team in that program. But it's working really well in Seattle for him. So I'll ended up working out for him no matter what happens, I think. There's a few other things I wanted to talk about today. Arizona, for example, is in a position to have the longest winning streak to start out an NCAA basketball season in the Big 12. So if they win today, they'll have the longest opening winning streak in Big 12 history for basketball, and that's a pretty noteworthy achievement if they accomplish that. We'll see. That game has just started just before I started recording this, so we'll see how that game turns out over the weekend. And I did want to address that there's some losing woes in the BYU world. There's some games that we were able to keep competitive right up until the end of the UConn game, and then oh my gosh, I watched this entire game and I can't remember who we played. It was last week. We overcome a 19-point lead, and we had BYU had the ball with 4 seconds left to be able to, and we're in the process of making the game-winning layup, likely, unless a miracle happened. But a miracle did happen on defense, and there was a clean block, just absolutely read the situation right, and wide open layup. Don't not take that shot. Excellent defense to close out that game, and I can't remember the team. I think that might have been Arizona, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, as always, for anything that I stumble on or get wrong, feel free to roast me in the comments. But yeah, there's some fairly significant losses for BYU, and they might drop as low as a 6 seed because of these losses, maybe even a 7. It just depends on how they keep going. If BYU can take it to Houston today, they're hosting Houston, so maybe they'll win. If they can win this game, then the season can be salvaged. But that loss against Oklahoma State the other day was bad. That was bad. Can't make any ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was really bad. It's just too bad that win for Oklahoma State has got to be overshadowed by the bigotry of their student section. Just Maybe stop with the religious chants and all this kinds of stuff. Maybe show that you're a Class C program. Maybe show that your fan base actually has some sportsmanship at all. Maybe that it would benefit your program to take this win in stride when you weren't favored to win this game, and yeah, demonstrate that you have good players or classy players, and they're worthy of note. But no, instead we result to religious bigotry in our chants. So that's great. That has to overshadow the win, and I say great sarcastically. I've shared my thoughts on this, and I'll just cap it off by saying you're not cool by doing this, guys. That you're not cool. You're creating more storylines that take away from your win if you win when you do this, and if you lose and you use those chats, you kind of just look like losers. So let's stop that. Let's stop that. That's all I'll add with that. But yeah, picking Patriots to win 24-17. Could be wrong. Everybody else is picking the Seahawks. Could be wrong. Arizona could have a pretty solid opening record for the Big 12, and BYU's playing Houston today, and gotta come back. Gotta win this game. This isn't a must-win situation yet, but we're getting close. That's all I really have to commentate on today, but as usual, let me know what you're liking about my takes. Let me know what I'm missing in my takes. I do want to learn and I do want to grow. And if you don't like anything, feel free to roast me in the comments. This has been Newbie Sports.